My name is Carson Campbell, and for my sport manager interview, I had the opportunity to interview Brendan Hankard of the Boston Red Sox. He is a director of premium sales and services for them. So we talked for about 15 to 20 minutes just about how he got started in the field, what his daily routine looks like, and any advice he'd have for me in the future. So, the first thing I asked him was what he studied in college, and he studied sports studies at the University of New Hampshire. He played soccer there, so he always knew that he wanted to be involved in sports, like his entire life. He knew that that's what he wanted to do from a really young age, and he just stuck to it. So the way he got involved with the Red Sox is he worked in the team store first. About 13 years ago, he just worked like pulling boxes off of shipments and putting them into the store and folding them up, and he just slowly progressed his way through the system there. So he said that the typical career path in this field he thinks is just to get in on the ground floor and work your way up. So on a daily basis, he said that he has to oversee about 50 employees who are doing different things, such as setting up the suites for use, making sure that the merchandise that they're giving away is in the suites. He has to make sure that the people are greeted properly and they're treated with respect when they show up. He also has to do the selling to the people who buy the suites. He also said that he thinks he's more busy on non-game days than game days, which I thought was really interesting because you would think that on a game day there'd be more stuff to do than on a non-game day. But he said that when they're not playing, he has to set up for game days, which, I mean, I guess is understandable. He said that the majority of their sales come from local fans. He said during the week, it's normally big businesses who buy the expensive suites. So, like, big companies will have, like, company outings at Fenway for weekday games. And then on the weekends, he said he has a little bit more trouble selling his tickets, but not much because of, like, the historical nature of the Red Sox. He said that the team went over their goal this year by a couple, like, a big margin, and he thinks that could be due to winning the World Series last year. He thinks that, like, the success of the franchise will help the team sales, like, in a way. But he also said that he thinks that in some markets it wouldn't really matter. Like, he said, for example, like the Miami Marlins, they struggle to get fans out even when they are good, so it would be harder to sell tickets there. He thinks that when since Fenway is a destination, he thinks that he would never have trouble selling out all his season suites, like, on a day-to-day basis. Let's see, what else? He said that Monday through Sunday you're working long hours during the season. Even during the off season, he said it really never stops. It's always, like, constant. You're always working. So he said that he thinks that the overall declining popularity in baseball isn't going to affect his specific area, but he said it could, however, affect the overall MLB. He said since the Red Sox are such a historic franchise that it wouldn't affect him, but smaller markets could see a dip in sales due to the, like, dying nature of baseball. So on off days, he said that he normally gets in around 7 a.m. and doesn't leave until like 8 p.m. He said that it's a really long work day on off days because he has to worry about the team store, how they're going to get the merchandise into the stadium. He has to worry about the food that they're going to sell for all the food they're going to put in the suites for all the games. He has to worry about the staff that he's going to have greeting and meeting the people when they're in their suite. So when I asked what his biggest piece of advice for a kid trying to break into the sports management industry was, he said that he thinks the number one thing that you have to do is get in on the ground floor no matter where you can, whether it's somewhere like a minor league baseball team or even a major league baseball team like he did. He thinks that once you get the experience in the field, that when you're applying for other jobs, it looks way better than any other job you may have. Um, he said that like the longer you work in sports, the more likely you are to progress, especially if you stay with one team. He thinks that in this business they reward loyalty, so like the longer you stay with the team, he thinks that like since he stayed with the Red Sox long enough, he progressed as high as he could. I also think he also said that uh, he believes that it's a really hard market to push into, and that you have to take any chance you can to get in. Because even though the industry is growing, he thinks that they're taking they're just it's harder to get in overall. So yeah. So it's pretty much all we talked about. We talked about 15 minutes, and the biggest thing I took away is that no matter what, I need to gain experience in the industry, and if I do that, I should like over time, I'll be able to work my way up. But he just kept emphasizing the importance of getting into the ground floor and moving your way up. So that was the number one thing I took away from this, and hopefully I can stay in touch with him and maybe work for him in the future. So thank you.